like a boss.
All right, ladies. So today we're going to be talking about how to embrace your shadow side to make him chase. Oh yeah, I know a lot of you guys are we like, oh my god, finally, right? And to be honest with you, this is one of the reasons why when you're in a relationship with somebody, why you sort of feel some resentment. You feel the pressure to be feminine, right? And as a result, you suppress your shadow side. And what tends to happen is that when you suppress your shadow side, it comes out in passive aggressive ways. You see, you can't really you can't really run away from it because it'll always be inside of you. So the key is not to repress it because society does not like the shadow side. You see, for some women, society doesn't like the shadow side because it creates insecurity within themselves, right? So what you got to do is learn to embrace that shadow side, right? Because everyone has it. It not, you see, we hide our shadow because it is not socially acceptable, right? And as a result, a lot of people hide it so much that they think they have no shadow. And what tends to happen is that that shadow side will then begin to control them through because it'll leak out. It's energy. It's gonna come out some way, right? So you gotta learn how to embrace it. For example, with me, see those trolling videos with the Sherry 7 fans? Oh yeah, that's my shadow side, right? I have a very impish nature. I like to mock stupidity. You see what I'm saying? So when you learn to do, rather than me acting like it doesn't bother me, like, yeah, it doesn't bother me, I'm mindful, motherfucker, it bothers me, and guess what? I'm gonna attack back, right? When you embrace that, people will sense your freedom. People will say, man, I wish I could do that. And that fascination will make you stand out from other people. So we're gonna talk about how many steps are there. We're going to talk about 3 steps on how to embrace your shadow side. All right. And I can promise you, ladies, when you embrace this, you will stand out. You, as long as you keep some femininity, you will stand out. And as long as this is like a drop, we ain't talking about your whole goddamn shadow. Okay. No. We're talking about some of your shadows. Because some of your shadows, I don't want to see none of your shadows. Some of you ladies. Shit. All right. So the first one is this. In order to use your shadow, first you got to see the shadow. All right. It's easy to look at your shadows through others. So if you want to look at your shadow side and you're like, I have a tough time, I'm such a nice person. Yo, first of all, okay. And the next one is notice how people react to you. Notice the things that people have told you that you didn't agree with. For example, with me, it could be what part of my shadow side? What could it be? Um, like I have, let me see, like a lot of my fantasies that I have, I'm in control. A lot of the fantasies that I have, like deep down, I have like deep desires to be like almost adored, right? That's part of my shadow, right? And what would happen is that if I'm not conscious of that shadow, if I'm not conscious of that, it'll come out. Like I'll develop grandiosity. I'll begin to see myself as greater than other people, right? But by acknowledging that fantasy of mine, I could tone it down, redirect it in ways that's actually healthy. Because when you don't notice it, you can't redirect it. So look at your shadow through other people. That's the first thing. Look at how other people react to you. Get feedback from other people. Don't get defensive. Even when you get feedback from other people and you get defensive, that's your shadow right there. Observe that. Observe that shadow. Notice where it comes from, right? The shadow hides in others, right? For example, I hate hypocrites. Why? Because deep down it's touching with my shadow. There's something in me that I feel like I'm a hypocrite about. And you guys are like, oh my God, why is he saying this? I'm using it as an example for you guys, motherfuckers, all right? I'm using myself as an example for you. For example, there's just some things that I just get jealous about. Like some things, I don't get jealous about a lot of things. Like about money, I don't care. About women, I don't care. But there are a few things in life that really creates deep and intense jealousy to the point where I can't even see it, right? That's my shadow. And it's like I could feel it inside. I could feel like it just pops out and I can't help it. But that's my shadow. So what do? Because I'm aware of it now, I can control it. You got to realize that beast isn't evil. That beast is there. It's creative energy. So question whether you have what you hate in others and dig deeply for those answers. So look for indirect signs. Look for indirect signs of your shadow. One, through one-sided traits. Like if you're overly feminine, that means that you have a very dark masculine shadow that you have to look at. Because if you're overly feminine, that might mean that you're using your femininity to control and manipulate. But most people are not aware of that because they have this conception of themselves of being nice and angelic. Okay, right? So look at that and analyze it. What's your extreme? right? Like for me, like I could, you guys can easily see my shadows more easily than I could, right? So look at indirect signs. Assume it's inside of you, and look for more signs of that. So if you find something you hate in others, assume that's in you, and just try to look for other signs of that same behavior. And I'm not talking about to self-criticize yourself and to be evil. No, I'm not saying to talk down to yourself. It's more like an exploration of yourself, like trying to clean your room, right? This is a dark side. Like for example, look at when you get too overly emotional. When things hit you. For example, I remember one time when I was drawing and I was getting decent at drawing, right? I actually drew this, right? Like when this woman used to criticize my drawing and used to say proportions. I used to get pissed off at her, right? And I thought that I was open-minded, but in reality, the reason why I got pissed off is because deep down I wanted people to praise me. Deep down I wanted people to acknowledge me as somebody who's unique. And because of that criticism, she was literally not confirming to me what I wanted to, and my shadow side came out and was defensive. And when I saw the comments that I sent her, I was like, holy shit, that was not me. But you know what? A lot of times when you see overreactions, you'll say that was not me. No, motherfucker, that was your shadow side. It just came out temporarily. Hold on to that and look at where that comes from, and look how other parts of yourself, look at where does that branch from, what other branches did that branch create, right? This dark side, like being criticized for your art, there you go. It meant you wanted praise. These emotions, once it's in others, it will react in you. That same narcissism that's causing the hate, right, is your own narcissism towards yourself that causes you to hate all the narcissistic people. So notice the people who you hate and despise. Most likely that's within you. Like for example, with LeBron, right? With LeBron selling out to China, a lot of people, including myself, hate it. Why? Because deep down you're also exhibiting that behavior in one way or another. In all honesty, that is the reason why people hate that shit. It's because they see it in themselves. Right? And I'm telling you, ladies, if you just embrace this, I'm not dumb, but if you just embrace this, you're gonna open up different dimensions and different dimensions to your personality, and you're gonna be more not multiple personalities, but more integrated, because people are complex. People are very multiplicated, and by embracing and bringing together that complexity, is going to create, you're going to have a completely different vibe for most people. You're going to have an impish look to you. It's going to be like a little shadowness, but like you who you are, but just different. You could think of many examples like that in society. Charles Barkley, right? Dave Chappelle, Bill Burr, right? Examples of people who own their shadows. Dennis Rodman, right? Not Miley Cyrus. That's not goddamn shadow. She's just trying to get praise. That's different. Miley Cyrus is just trying to get attention. Shadow is more genuine. It's like when people, you know how people who can get away with saying things that others can't? It's because they're embracing their shadows. It's congruent with who they are, right? Right? Remember when you were young and you were particularly cruel and mean. These moments you couldn't control. That was your shadow. Don't assume they were just moments of anger. They were a reflection of your shadow, as opposed to repressed forces that comes as a result of growing up, right? Those were who you were, right? So it's also examine the earlier version of yourself. See the parts in you that, look, I'm not going to, this is part of the course. Let me let me skip some parts, right? Right? So the next thing, once you see the shadows, right? Again, this happens in relationships. This is something, it's self-exploration. If you do this, eventually, slowly but surely, you're going to be someone who's really unique. And when I mean unique, I mean who's really yourself. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're gonna be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace, and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women of power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship, and this a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you can read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so most likely I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you can pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. I'm closing the channel.